Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Anidia Daini Rasmi, and I would like to explain about the terms in exporting and importing goods. First of all, I would like to explain about the export and import. So, export is an activity that the goods and services a country produce domestically and sells to the businesses or customers who reside in a foreign country. And then the import is an activity that the goods and services a business or customer purchases from another country. Next, I would like to explain about the terms used in exporting and importing goods. The first is prohibited and restricted goods. So these goods are prohibited and restricted for entry or exit into or from the customs area for reasons linked to health, environment, protection of endangered species of flora and fauna, security, and the legislation. So next is Appendix CITES or Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species of Wild Fauna and Flora. The list of species afforded different levels and types of protection. So this is the international agreement to protect the endangered plants and then animals from the threats of international trade. The next is the P3 waste. This refers to the origin of the acronym for hazardous and toxic waste. This is the remainder of a business or activity that contains substances or components that directly or indirectly contaminate, damage, or harm the environment, health, and the survival of humans and other living things. This is a residue from industrial processes and also come from household that are hazardous and toxic. And the next is INSW or Indonesian National Single Window Portal. INSW is an Indonesian national system that allows for the single submission of data and information, single and synchronous data and information processing, and also single decision making for granting custom clearance and releasing goods. So this portal is a system that will integrate information related to the process of handling custom documents and releasing goods. Next is harmonized system. So this is a standardized numerical method of classifying traded products that is used by custom authorities around the world to identify products when assessing duties and taxes and for gathering statistics. So the function of harmonized systems are to classify physical goods for shipment to a foreign country and then to complete required shipping documentation and also to conduct market research and obtain the trade statistic. Next is Directorate General of Custom and Excise, or in Indonesian we call Directorate Jenderal Bea dan Cukai. It's an Indonesian government agency under Ministry of Finance that serves the community in the field of custom and excise. So the Directorate General of Custom and Excise has a duty to organize the formulation and implementation of policies in the field of supervision, law enforcement, service, and optimization of state revenue in the field of custom and excise in accordance to provision of legislation. Next is Custom Service Management Entrepreneurs, or in Indonesian we call it pengusaha pengurusan jasa kepabeanan. This is the business entity that carries out activities to fulfill the custom obligation for and on behalf of the owner of goods. This organization has a function to help export or import goods by providing consulting services, custom clearance, processing, export-import permits, and so on. And also, this organization usually has expertise and experience in custom processes, as well as understanding the regulation related to the import and export of goods. Next is ASEAN Harmonized Tariff Nomenclature. These are the goods classification system that is applied uniformly in ASEAN. Is in the form of numbering goods up to the 8-digit level in all Asian members countries based on the protocol governing the implementation of AHCN. So the AHCN facilitates trade among Asian members through consistent and uniform interpretation in the classification of goods. Next is Indonesia Custom Tariff Book, or Indonesia we call it Buku Tarif Kepabeanan Indonesia. This contains the goods classification system applicable in Indonesia, including ketentuan umum untuk menginterpretasi harmonized system notes and the classification structure of goods prepared based on the harmonized system and ASEAN harmonized tariff nomenclature. Next is ketentuan umum menginterpretasi harmonized system. This is the way how to classify an item in order to determine harmonized system code and the tariff for import or export duties on the goods. Next is export declaration or pemberitahuan ekspor barang. This is a document used to notify the authorities of goods to be exported, which can be in the form of writing on a form or electronic media. And also the next is import declaration or pemberitahuan impor barang. This is a document used to notify the authorities of goods to be imported, and also which can be in the form of writing on a form or electronic media. Next is World Customs Organization. This is an independent intergovernmental whose mission is to enhance the effectiveness and efficiency of customs administration. So, WCO develops international standards, foster cooperation, and builds capacity to facilitate legitimate trade, and then to secure a fair revenue collection, and to protect society, providing leadership, guidance, and also support to customs administration. Next is shippers letters of instruction. So this is a document issued by an exporter to logistic partners with details on how and where to ship a set of products. So this is a document that conveys an exporter instruction, so there are no misunderstanding between the exporter and the freight forwarder who helps get their goods to foreign market. And next is commercial invoice. This is a document issued by the seller to the buyer in an international transaction and serve as a contract and a proof of sale between the buyer and the seller. So this is contain the details, the price, value, and then the quantity of the goods. Commercial invoice also include the trade or sale condition agreed upon by both buyer and seller of the transaction being carried out. The last is certificate of origin. This is a certified document that states what the country of origin is of a specific product. The certificate of origin may be required for letter of credit purposes. So this issuance of certificate of origin is important for chambers of commerce, as many countries view them as credible organizations and require them to authenticate documents with their seal or stamp. That's all from my explanation. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.